So clearly you could tell that the rhythms I'm producing right now are a little off. They may sound a little bit strange, and this is what I hear in students comping a lot. There's very strange rhythms, very strange kind of types of rhythms that are kind of building together, and it just doesn't sound right. You may experience this if you are comping in a group a lot, or if you're playing in some sort of setting that requires you to comp, even if you're comping for yourself in a solo piano situation. So in today's podcast, I'm going to be talking about the rhythms and some overall general concepts that you can actually use to drastically improve how your comping sounds. So I'm not referring to notes, because clearly you could tell I was using some beautiful harmonies, right? And if you know some beautiful voicings and chords that you've studied, that is not going to make any difference if your rhythms aren't in the pocket, aren't swinging. You're not playing a couple of combination rhythms that are going to make your comping sound really solid and lock into the groove, and also give space for the melody and other things to happen. So with that being said, I'm going to go over some of these concepts today that I promise you will completely transform your comping, how it sounds, and it's all going to be due to rhythm. Okay, let's check it out.
Hey there, my name is Brendan Lowe, creator and founder of Jazz Piano School. If you're enjoying this content and everything else that we produce, go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe this video so that you can stay up to date with all the new free podcast releases. Also, if you're looking to take some next steps, definitely go to jazzpianoschool.com, check out all the other free education we have, and there is a membership available as well. If you're kind of still dipping your toe in the water, then I have a free ebook that I wrote for you on the Jazz Piano School system that's helped tens of thousands of people successfully learn jazz piano. You can go to jazzpianoschool.com/roadmap to pick up that free ebook and start learning the system today. With that being said, let's dive right back in.
All right, so the first thing you really want to pay attention to is the amount of comping. Clearly, when I did things like this, like just a lot of comps in a row, this is going to have a very overwhelming kind of encumbering effect on whoever's playing with you if you're doing a lot of that or just stuff like this. I'm going to talk about a rhythm right now that's going to allow you to use space and is a beautiful combination. That's called the Charleston rhythm. That's going to be on the downbeat of 1 and the upbeat of 2. This is going to be just 2 comps within the measure. And because of the combination of the downbeat of 1 into the upbeat of 2, so 1 and 2 and, right? 1 and 2 and. This extremely popular rhythm works so nicely because you're getting a variation of both. 1, the downbeat, and the upbeat. And remember, in jazz, we need both of those. We need downbeats, but we certainly need upbeats as well. So here's what the Charleston sounds like. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. I'll stop counting. Now you can change the duration of these too. I could go long, long, or sorry, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Now I'm gonna flip it, short, long. Here's long, short, long, short, long, short, right? 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. Okay, you get the picture there. So couple things happening. We're allowing space with the Charleston, meaning we only have 2 hits, 2 comps in our measures. Now, granted, it's a repeated pattern. I'm going to talk about that shortly. So in order to kind of get some more modern comping style into our tune, we really do want to switch up the types of rhythms more often than just repeating a comping rhythm. Clearly, that sounded like very old school comping. Not bad, but certainly stylistic and niche, right? The other thing is the duration of the comps, depending upon the rhythm you use, can drastically change the sound of your comping, right? And it's something you might not be thinking about. So if I go long into short, right? Long into short, that's going to sound and feel completely different than short into long, short into long. And even though it's the exact same rhythm, it's literally one of the best tips to make you not scramble for new rhythms to learn, but essentially take the rhythms you do play already and switch up the contrast between long to short and then short into long. Maybe you do 2 longs. Long into long. Long into long. Right? Short into short. Short into short. Right? Maybe switch it up. Long, short. Now short to long. Short to long. So all of those first 6 measures I just played were completely different. Same rhythm, but completely different because of the long and short balance, right? And from a textural standpoint, that's an amazing hack in order to create variety, contrast, texture, ambiance within your comping that I promise you your group's going to love and you're going to sound way better, okay? Let's move on to the next one. So that Charleston pulse plus the long short tip was really my first thing I wanted to get to in this particular podcast lesson. Let's talk about the anticipated chords. So essentially upbeats. Upbeats are extremely, extremely important in jazz to just create momentum, right? So if you find yourself comping more along the lines of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You need more upbeats. You have to have some upbeats, okay? So like I just said in the previous tip, the balance between long to short is really the best, okay? So check it out. Here is what all short might sound like, or upbeats. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3. So even if I were to do that, let's say I were to do that in a group, right? Or for myself in a solo piano way. Because remember, we have to comp for ourselves when playing solo piano. That's going to sound way better than what I did the first thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Having downbeats in jazz is like having anchors that takes all the happiness, joy, and fun out of the song. Okay, just remember that. So if you are experimenting with downbeats versus upbeats, now the upbeats are in the middle of the beat, the downbeats are right on the numbers, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 are your downbeats, and then in between the numbers are your upbeats. And they're called upbeats for a reason. They're fun, they're uplifting, right? And that's what jazz is all about. And the swing feel is created through those upbeats. So definitely try to use upbeats. I wouldn't say more, but definitely a balance, but you can get away with using more upbeats than I would say downbeats. But ultimately, you should have a nice variety. Check it out. Here's what it should sound like. Here we go. Down, 2, 3, and 4, up, 2, down, up, 2, 3, 4, up, down, down. Now I'll do an up, 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 down, 2, 3, 4, up, up, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. I'll do it again. I like the repeated pattern. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 up. That was so many. I'll do it down now. Down, up, down. Okay, so you get the picture. So clearly, like, I am very, very conscious, and this happens more naturally for me now because obviously I'm doing this so much, I've played so much. It happens very naturally for me as I'm going through and comping. I hear myself. I'm very in tune to what I'm playing. I hear myself. If I do a couple of upbeats, I'm like, ooh, okay, I need a downbeat, right? This happens more intuitively and expressively for me now in this point. But for you, as an exercise, you can always record yourself or comp 2 downbeats and then comp 2 upbeats, right? Down, down, 3, 4, up, up. Or you can flip, vice versa, right? You can go down, up, down, up. Whatever structure it is, turn it into a practice exercise, work on it so that you're kind of integrating this in a natural way through your comping, okay? So that is going to be the Charleston with some general tips, the upbeat variety with anticipation. And then again, for the kind of the last tip here, this is going to be more of a developmental, right? Developmental arc. Okay. And this includes space, contrast, and rhythm, right? So as far as a developmental standpoint, if you're playing from a group, right, try to come in slow or small or light and then build into more and then come down. Now, if you have a good soloist working with you, usually this is happened. And also try to include dynamics. So this third tip is really about musicality. It's about thinking about your solo as more of an improvisational solo, but in a comping form. If you do this, your comping is going to be way better than it used to be, I should say. Think about it in terms of an arc or some sort of solo that you're creating, like you're on the spot comping. Here we go. So I'm taking more of a minimal approach here. Just one comp in those 2 bars. One comp in these 2 bars. See all the space? It's gorgeous. This also sets me up for other things later. I did all short. Now I'll just hold some comps. Right? So I'm just holding. I'm building. I'm still kind of soft. Nice mellow textures. Now we get to the bridge. Maybe I expand a little bit. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. I'll repeat it. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So still the first chorus, maybe. I'm still kind of soft. Maybe I'll go back to my first. Hold. Maybe a little bit one comp. Holds. Holds. So again, I'm thinking about creating a solo with my comping, right? So now I have some rhythms going. How much more I'm doing now. Passing. Different texture on the piano, right? Come back down. Holding, right? So clearly, like, my mental state of mind was the point and concept for this, utilizing motifs dynamics, right? Thinking about your developmental arc of space and time. If you take on this strategy, even if you don't really know what you're doing, just from a conceptual standpoint, I promise you this will drastically change how your comping sounds. Instead of just kind of approaching your comping as like chords and thinking about each individual comp. Think about it as a story, a long story over the 3 courses that you might be comping for a soloist or the tune, and I promise you you'll have a much better arc. It'll be much more musical, and it'll be just sound so much better. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.
Well, again, I hope you guys enjoyed that free lesson podcast. Definitely go to jazzpianoschool.com to check out all the other free education we have available there. There's over 300 free podcast video lessons, a blog, Lick of the Week, and so many free ebook resources. And again, if you are looking to take that next step on your jazz piano journey and go a little bit deeper, we do have a membership available as well with an amazing, thriving community, lots of templates and systematic courses that will ensure you achieve your jazz piano dream. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe this video so that you can stay up to date with all the other free podcast lessons we're going to release. And as always, have a fantastic day and happy practicing.